Hello everyone, my name is Ferdinand Haratua, pastor of Rock City Church Nunawading. Welcome to 3 Minutes Discipleship. And today I'm going to speak to us on a topic of suffering. You see, the world is made up of two kinds of people. Those who have experienced suffering and those who will experience it. I like how Elizabeth Elliot defines suffering. She says, suffering is having what you don't want or wanting what you don't have. Now, in the Bible, perhaps there was no one apart from Jesus who suffered more than this guy, whose name is Job. The Bible says that Job was a righteous man, yet he suffered immensely. In the blink of an eye, Job lost all his 10 children, his wealth, and as well as his health. Now, many have asked the question, why do bad things happen to good people? Now, notice how the Bible described that Job was not merely a good person, but he was a righteous person. Yet, he suffered greatly nonetheless. Now, back to our questions, why do bad things happen to good people? Some say, well, suffering is just random. It is without any purpose. Therefore, let us not waste any time dwelling on it. I know this may sound like a good advice, but that's not what the Bible teaches us about suffering. While our suffering may be without reason, it is never without purpose. And in Job's case, the Bible says, and let me read it for us in Job chapter 2, verse 3, and the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on earth, a blameless and upright man, who fears God and turns away from evil. He still holds fast his integrity, although you incited me against him to destroy him without reason. You see, Job's suffering may be without reason, but it's neither random nor without purpose. And throughout the book of Job, we can see how helpless Job was, and at times even hopeless. Yet not once Job ever doubts that God was somehow responsible. So what can we learn from Job's suffering? What can we learn is this, that God is sovereign. Now, what do I mean by that? Job's suffering is not random, and neither is your suffering. God is always in control, and not for a millisecond that God was not in the driver's seat. Now, God was the one who invited Satan to inflict Job. Remember, God said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? The question is then, why did God allow us to suffer? I believe suffering reveals to us our heart. It allows us to see the very reason why we worship God. Either we worship Jesus for who He is, or that we worship Him for what He can do for us. Now, the late theologian R.C. Sproul was once asked about why do bad things happen to good people? And he wisely responded, well, that only happened once, and he volunteered. That is true, isn't it? When you and I suffered today, we totally deserve it because we are not a good person. Not to the standard of a holy God. The Bible says, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. But if today you and I can enjoy some good things in this life, it is because 2,000 years ago, a really bad thing happened to a really good person. And his name is Jesus. He volunteered to suffer for your sake and my sake. Therefore, when you are suffering, while you may not have all the answers, I pray that you'll be comforted in the fact that it is not because Jesus doesn't care or doesn't love you.